Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Full Count. If you are new here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, comment down below. Boys, another week, another podcast. Let's get straight into it. King and Queen of the Ring is upcoming, and you know, somewhat these matches, they're going too fast. I don't know why they've decided to do the Fatal 4-Ways. To my knowledge, I mean, did they do Fatal 2v2 separate matches, singles matches?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you like that better?
I think we're all with this whole thing that it's becoming sometimes too boring, too long. To be honest, I'm a fan of this Fatal 4-Way. It gets through the tournament quicker. Does it really show who's the best? I reckon like having that extra match 1v1 really shows who's, you know, truly best, because a Fatal 4 sometimes doesn't necessarily show who's really worthy of winning that tournament. But in regards of speeding the tournament up and making these matches quick, getting through the tournaments quicker, I think a Fatal 4-Way is the best way to deal with it. Yeah,
I don't think I like it. I mean, I like it in previous years, man. It just gives the tournament time to breathe. I mean, it's with Fatal, it's a 4 Fatal 4-Ways between the men and the women.
And
then it's going to get into singles matches, semis, and then obviously the
finals
is going to be 1-on-1. But I don't like how they've begun this tournament. Again, you got to give it time to breathe. I mean, it just shows you how much WWE are rushing their PLEs and the build up to their PLEs, because again, previously you'd see a singles match every single week, and then it slowly built up to that finals match. But now you're seeing a Fatal 4-Way from both brands, and it just says to me, the viewer, that we don't care about the King and Queen of the Ring. It's better done sooner than later. So that's what it says to the fans, and no one likes a rushed product. And we all know I think it's another point of topic or point of reason that I can see as to why they're speedrunning in this is like there's too many events in between. You got Saturday night's main event, King and Queen of the Ring, and then after that you got SummerSlam. Yeah. So it just adds to the list of issues WWE are having right now in terms of not enough build up to their PLEs, which should be a premium live event, should be something that, you know, sends off a storyline to the utmost, you know, payoff that it can have. So, I don't like this.
I agree with Sam. I think I'm a fan. Instantly when the Fatal 4-Way match actually got announced, and when I was watching, I said, bro, that's for me a great option for them. And I think just previous years, I just felt it was too dragged. Like you would have 2 matches. That probably takes 3 to 4 weeks to get the knockout rounds out of the way, then move on to the finals. I think this is a quick way just to get things wrapped up. It's just King and Queen of the Ring. So I think it's not a big deal that they're doing a Fatal 4-Way. I think it's a good way to just get it done, and then maybe depending when the final is actually, they can at least maybe have 2 weeks to build, you know, the finals. For example, Oba and just for example Roman Reigns, for example, they can have 2 weeks to build it up, and I think it's just a quicker way. I think it just dragged over the years.
What do you think?
Look, to be honest, like back in the days, I'm gonna bring up like back in the days with the King of the Ring. Like I don't know if you remember watching like Edge, Christian, Kurt Angle, who else was there? Chris Jericho and all them. When I remember watching them back in King of the Ring, back in 2001, they used to have the single matches, and they. Like obviously it was always like 2 matches, and then they qualify, and then that comes to the finale. Like
so it'll be
it's that's how it's traditionally been
done. That's how the tradition should be.
Yeah.
But I think now these days, like putting 4 wrestlers in one ring, I think like what you said, they're trying to rush like things,
storylines
and getting
to get to the event.
And don't forget interference as well. That's leading to storylines as well, like what happened with today as well.
Yeah.
With the
vision. Yeah. So. But I'm not a big fan with 4 wrestlers. I prefer having 2 people fighting against each other. Have at least 2 matches for both men and women, and then you leave it for the semi-finals, and then you leave it to the finale at Night of Champions. Whoever wins it, then obviously they qualify for either the World Heavyweight or the Undisputed.
So the King and Queen of the Ring is Saturday, June 27. We're right now. June 9th.
So we're still got about 2-3 weeks time.
Exactly. Unless that's what they're doing. I mean, they're speed running these matches and having enough time to build up to that finals match. Yeah. But if they're doing it that way, I get it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like why have a tournament if you're just going to speed run through it?
Yeah. But I really understand where you're coming from, Bill. But I think because they're still finishing up their tour in Europe right now, because they had so many shows like around England, France, Italy. Where else they did? Spain.
They're
as
around
well.
Europe. So
Yeah.
what's your point?
So my point is they're trying to get things done before the Night of Champions coming up in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So that's why they're trying to rush things up so then they can see who is like the most like
Who's the king and queen of the ring?
Yeah, not just the king and queen, but they want who's the rising star to become the world champion. That's the biggest question mark.
I feel like at the end of the day, it's a tournament. So I think if it's done with 1v1 or fatal 4-way, I still think at the end of the day, you're still getting a tournament. You're still getting what's done. You know, wrestlers are getting eliminated, and you go progress to the next final, to the next final. So I guess it's just how you interpret it. I feel like WWE's been under so much scrutiny that just, as you said, me and Shabo agree with the Fatal 4. You guys agree with the one-on-ones, and it's just gotten to the point where, like, because we've seen how bad WWE is and how just bad it's been. We see it as a way where speeding it up might do a good thing, because lately they've been dragging things long and just too rushed. But then you guys make other good points where, you know, keep it traditional. You're rushing things. So like, WWE. I think it's WWE's fault actually, because if they were doing good, I don't think anyone would have had a problem whether it was 1v1 or fatal 4-way.
Yeah.
Now, who do you think wins the king and queen of the ring?
I'm basing of who deserves it. I think Finn Balor or LA Knight deserves it. I think, you know, it's about time. LA Knight has had that bit of a rest now after WrestleMania. I think don't put him back into this situation. I know we've spoken about this for, you know, multiple weeks now, that I think it's time for him to, you know, take control and be, you know, the next star in the making, because the fans love him. I think he's been doing good ever since he's come back from WrestleMania. I've been enjoying him on the show. I think he was good on the mic today on Raw. So I think we need him, to win it. Also with Finn Balor, you know, him leaving Judgment Day, we really haven't seen much of him. And I think to put Finn Balor where he was before he joined the Judgment Day, I think you give him the king, be the king of the ring. So I think either LA Knight or Finn Balor for me deserves it, but I know they're not going to go on that, you know, that road. So you're probably looking at, for me, I don't think Oba wins it. I think Brock's going to interfere in his match. You don't reckon?
That SummerSlam's still far away. When's SummerSlam?
It's
August?
after this event. So it'd be August. He won't interfere.
So you reckon?
I feel
Oba
like
wins?
if anything, if Oba wins, or when he wins, because that's my prediction, it raises the stakes of that Brock Lesnar match at SummerSlam, because he's now king of the ring, and you can't call yourself the ruler, you know, if you're not going to win king of the ring. So he'd be the ultimate ruler. He's the king of the ring. So I feel like, again, he wins the king of the ring, bigger stakes going into this SummerSlam match, you know, obliterates Brock Lesnar for the last time, sends him actually now into retirement, and that will be his defining moment. Not WrestleMania when he beat him the first time. That right there, SummerSlam in Brock Lesnar's hometown, sends him straight into retirement. That will be Oba Femi's defining moment.
Okay.
So
that's
if
a very good
anything,
point.
he's got to win this.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's straightforward. Oba's in it. Like you saw once the whole tournament got released in the Who's vs. Q, everyone looked at Oba. They said, okay, he's winning that. There's no way anyone else is going to win it. Unless WWE pull a shock and get someone else to win it, like, for example, an LA Knight.
Or Javon Evans as well. He's the youngest one too.
If they pull a shock, maybe they do go down the aisle where Brock does interfere. You never know. But I think right now, Oba wins, and that guarantees him a title shot, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it does. So
absolutely.
that's another thing.
So he'll go with. So he'll go for Roman Reigns if he wins the whole thing.
He'll go for Roman
or Cody Rhodes.
It'd be Roman Reigns, and that's another thing.
Maybe he wins.
He's king of the ring. Gets that title opportunity, beats Brock Lesnar. Then later down the track, you know what's around the corner.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Could that be a WrestleMania main event?
Yeah.
I mean, very well. I think it could be. Even though he just started in the company, you know, I think that will be the ultimate game plan for Oba Femi going forward.
It makes sense.
I'm annoyed he lost, but he should have never. I understand.
Against Brock?
Not about Brock. Like, once we all knew that they're facing, we knew he's going to lose that.
Yeah.
But again, I was just so annoyed that he has that loss. But again, the way he lost that match, 7 F5s and kicked out on all of them, it shows that he is like the ruler. He's the next big thing. So in a way, it's probably a victory for him as well.
Now, what do you think about Liv Morgan?
Yeah.
Do you think her title reign has been depressing? Has it been?
Oh, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Like, she hasn't been defending it as much, and obviously now she's qualified in the Queen of the Ring too.
It's
that just makes no
stupid.
sense at all.
Like, because on that, like,
Yeah.
I feel like there was no point for qualifying.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
they're going down the road where it's going to be her and Raquel
Raquel.
Rodriguez
Yeah.
in the final. Maybe yes, but like, she's already the world champion. Why does she need to win it to get an opportunity? Like, she should have got literally eliminated today. I don't know who she was facing.
She was
in that
versing
match.
Becky Lynch. Who else was there?
Yeah, was he in it? No.
It was Becky Lynch.
Oh, bro, regardless.
Whoever was,
Well,
yeah.
It should have been one of them. It
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
give it like to a Becky Lynch or something.
Yeah,
or whoever
Becky
else
Lynch
in
should
It
have
was,
qualified.
it was Morgan, Lynch,
Yeah.
Bliss, and Green.
Yeah.
Well, Alexa should have won that.
Or
I think
even-
Alexa Bliss should have
Alexa
qualified.
Bliss or even Green maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense why she's in the tournament.
That's
she's
what I'm
the
saying.
champ.
Like,
Yeah,
she's
that's
the
not
world
That's what I'm
champion.
saying. Like it's her title reign has been that depressing that they have to add it
And
to
it's
this
been dry too.
Queen of the Ring tournament
Yeah.
for what reason? It just defeats the whole
Exactly.
purpose. So if she wins, she gets a shot at Rhea.
It's just so
Like,
So
it
it's
just-
like, and why would she even go for that? She's already the world champion.
Yeah, like,
Like, it just makes no sense about it too. And,
Exactly. Yes,
and you're a world champion. Like, you should be like defending it at premium live events, whatever it is. But why would you put yourself in that type of position? And you want to qualify, and now your best friend is qualified too,
Exactly.
Raquel Rodriguez too.
I just feel
Like-
WWE is running, out of
Yeah.
storylines for wrestlers, and that's a perfect example that what Bill said that had to force her into it because they had no other plans for her,
Yeah.
and that's a sad thing because Liv Morgan, before her first title reign with the belt, it was quite good, very entertaining. And not only Liv Morgan, like even Dom's doing nothing with his belt, so they've got a really bad issue, and the only reason why she's in it, first of all, like you said, they forced it, and second of all is they're gonna prepare Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan.
And
for
I want to say this: the Judgment Day has to be gone, like immediately,
it's
bro.
done,
It's
yeah.
just
It's
boring,
done.
and you
It's
can tell from
become stale.
Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, it's-
Roxanne Perez, like she wants to
gonna
get out of
leave
it.
soon.
Like
She's gonna leave
she's
soon.
gonna. I think
So
she's
we-
gonna.
we
Balor's probably gonna.
we
want
could
to
say
go.
like a Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez, and maybe Roxanne
And
helps
Finn Balor.
Raquel, or
So
vice
who
versa.
do you saying wins the tournament?
for the Queen of the Ring.
It's gonna be Liv Morgan versus Raquel, and then it's somewhat Roxanne's gonna interfere because we've seen Roxanne in the backstage lately. She's been a bit off, and with her talking to Liv and with her not being in the tournament, so it's gonna be either Liv wins it surprisingly, or Raquel Rodriguez wins
Yeah.
it because of Roxanne.
Well, I think Raquel gets it. I think she versus her best friend, and either she challenges her for the world
Yeah,
title,
that's what
she
probably
challenges
happens.
her best friend, even Rhea Ripley as well.
which will be
But people say they're saying the speculations that I think maybe what's the name? Oh my god, I just blanked out. Rhea Ripley, that she might relinquish her title
Wow, what's wrong? Injured
because she's injured.
again?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
that's
she was on.
she was on
wasn't she?
SmackDown, but it looks like they might relinquish her title.
Yeah, she did say she was
Yeah,
working
she's-
with injury.
Let's hope
Nah,
not.
So,
yeah,
I hope
unless-
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'll say Raquel, but
Yeah,
what would you
I'll
say, Sam?
probably Raquel. And I think she'll win it and probably challenge Liv for the belt.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going Io Sky. I feel like that they'd give it to her.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
love
she'll-
her.
I-
They
they
love
love
her.
her.
Especially
Sky.
Triple H loves Io Sky. And did she win it? Who won it last year? Was it Liv Morgan
Yeah,
last year?
last week it was Io.
Oh, no,
Io
no.
won it.
Last year. I'm saying.
Last-
Who won it
Was
last
it
year?
Jade? It was Jade.
No, Jade.
Is
Jade.
it
won
Jade?
last year,
Yeah, I think they give it to Io.
I
Yeah.
just think they should just Io's like, how can I say, like, I don't think she give a new wrestler a chance to win that world title.
Absolutely, yeah,
Io's won that
100%.
world title. Yes, I know she can go for it again, but just we don't want to see the same face as her
know.
going for like a Liv Morgan or maybe goes for Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Like
already.
you need someone like Lash
Give
Ledger,
her,
Chelsea
like,
Green,
yeah,
or
I want Chelsea Green to be
Even-
world
Yeah,
champion. I want her to be.
I want her to
world champion.
become-
Raquel's earned her way now. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
she's getting to the step now. But she should be by herself. She does not need Liv Morgan or Raquel. What's her name? Roxanne.
Yeah.
She needs to be on her own.
I think, yeah, Judgment Day should leave, and
Yeah.
it should be just Dom and Liv together.
Yeah, yeah.
JD will still be their mate, not but with them.
Yeah.
So they should just scrap that whole thing.
But I don't know if you watched NXT like 4 or 5 years ago before Raquel came into the picture. Like she won the NXT title, and Rhea Ripley was the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Bianca was the Raw Women's Champion. Did you remember that 4 or
Yeah.
5 years ago?
Yeah.
Like I reckon Raquel needs to be on her own, independent.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, changing topics now. Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
he's
man.
made his return back to Raw, WWE even. What do you think? Do you think he deserves a major push?
yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
it's good for him. I'm so happy he's back. Like, before he was the Americano, I feel I wasn't happy with his move with the what was the group called?
American
American Mate. Yeah, I never liked it. I think Chad Gable is such a good wrestler. Everything about him, his wrestling ability, his promo skill. I think he's such a good wrestler, very underrated. And I think if WWE gave him the time to really grow and really have a bigger role in the company, I think he'd flourish. I really admire Chad Gable. He's one of my favorites in the company, and I just wish they don't waste it. They've wasted so many wrestlers, and he might be on that list again. And I just feel if he can get into a world title picture, yes, he needs to earn his way. It would be good for him because I think he's up there. He's a world title wrestler for sure.
You think main eventer?
Main eventer. Yeah, I think, look, he's got to work his way there. I think right now it's too early to say. I think if he can get into with the bigger wrestlers and develop with them too, because let's be honest, he's been with the mid-card wrestlers, and I think to be the best, you got to work with the best wrestlers in the company, and we haven't seen that with Chad Gable yet, so only time will tell. I think if he gets the opportunity, we can really see if he can be the main eventer of
I feel like he's
WWE.
already proved it, but
he has
with the AAA match, Mask versus Mask.
Yeah.
That
was
broke
classic.
records. I mean, Dave Meltzer scored that 5.7. He's broken the scale.
That was a good match
so
then.
I think he's proven that he is a main eventer.
Yeah.
And I think he has what it takes to be a main eventer. And I'm going to go on a limb here and say that because his character work is great. I mean, he's great on the mic, as you said, great in the ring. He's got the full package. And I feel like if you pair him, I don't know how he pairs with the Roman Reigns. I feel like he'd pair nicely with a CM Punk, a Seth Rollins.
Type
I'm telling you, like those are your like high caliber WWE superstars who have been there, done that in the main event. I think he can give them a run for their money, and he'd go a long way. I mean, it's they're trying it. I mean, at that point they'd be experimenting with him, but that's what it takes to like build stars. I mean, that's how you got to take risks. And how would you know if you don't try?
Well, they've been hinting him with Rey Mysterio and that storyline wise.
I mean, he did say he's sorry and
he's sorry
about Lucha Libre.
So hopefully I can end it there. That's a great way to end it. He said sorry and just move on.
Rey Mysterio mentioned something about something he did before he wanted to become a luchador. So there's something around that. Of course, I want him to be up there, but we've seen the likes of Karrion Kross, for example. He future main eventer, future potential face of the company. Like he had it all, and then what they do with him, nothing there. He eventually left.
Yeah, that's screwed him.
So I've got to be honest. I don't think they're gonna push him. The fans want him. The pops he's getting every time he pops up on the screen. Like it's crazy. And especially that AAA match really gave him
credibility.
Credibility. It allowed people to really see Chad Gable and what he's capable of doing. But I'm not going to let WWE disappoint me, bro. I'm not putting my expectations high. I know what they do with these wrestlers. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think Triple H will. As you said, they're scared to take risks. They're scared to give Chad Gable or Sami Zayn or all these wrestlers that have been dying to have an opportunity. They're scared to give it. They just slap it on Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, or your Punk or your Rollins, which again...
Sami Zayn calls him the golden boy.
Yeah, they're the big wrestlers. Fair enough, but you've got to give moments to these wrestlers that have been working hard for it. It gives something new to the company, something fresh, and it's just better. You just get sick of the same people holding the same belts. And
exactly.
I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan, but I'm sick of him holding that belt because they're not doing anything with it. Yeah. That needs a change too. But
exactly.
I'd hope Chad Gable gets it, but I just don't see
Look,
him.
I hope he does get a push because he really deserves it. And with all due respect, obviously, when he first came into the AAA scene, mocking the luchadors and all that. Now he has that big respect to him and what luchador is and what their tradition is in the Mexican culture. He actually really did well the whole year.
He did. He killed
and with storylines with the original, original America, what's his name? The OG Americano as well. That led that storyline. It was a bit off that few months, but then obviously with that Mask versus Mask match, that was an instant classic. That one on Sunday last week.
It was a perfect ending.
That was a perfect ending to it. But now, because obviously now he's obviously the way he is, I reckon you should put him into the character similar to Kurt Angle. Remember when Kurt Angle first came into the scene, he needs to build his character up and obviously get into the title picture. So if I was Triple H, I would rather put Chad Gable as the IC champion to develop him up, get to him to the next level, obviously defend your title, defend how many times, whatever you want. And then when he loses that
Loses that,
title,
then he can
then he
move
can
on.
get into the main event
It's
picture
similar
and then
to- yeah.
take his step
Like
to the
Gunther,
to
how
the top level.
He was the IC champion.
Who?
Gunther.
Yeah, Gunther,
And
yeah.
then he made his way to the world picture.
That's how Triple H should do that for Chad Gable, similar to what Gunther did.
It would have been good to see him in the King of the Ring tournament, but it was a bit. He was still the
Still in
the
Ultra
Yeah.
Brand America,
Yeah.
so he
It's 'cause
just
it's
missed
still
out.
fresh,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But it would have been good to see him make at least the final against, let's say, Oba, and Oba beats him. So
Do you,
yeah.
do you think his apology is sincere, Chad Gable?
I
Do you
hope
think
it
he
is.
really means it?
I hope he does, because I don't want him to go back to
What
him
makes you-
being a heel, and if he goes back to doing that, it's going to be the same thing. The same. So he needs this new change.
Yeah, yeah.
The fans on his side. He's
Yeah.
acknowledged that the Lucha Libre is very, like, he's got to respect it. He's realized how hard they work and how special and unique they are. If that's all a lie and he goes on to not believe anything he's saying, that whole thing he went through was just a waste. Because I think the purpose of that was him going through that year journey and realizing that, okay, this is actually something special to, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. So if that's the case and he's lying, I'd be pissed.
Because he's like overly nice.
Yeah.
He's given back Rey Mysterio's mask. He's gone around the locker room saying sorry. And yeah, I get your point. I mean, he's spent a year with this character, learnt the ropes, went from mocking him to basically respecting him. And at the end of the day, it's just like, to me, it's
too
like
nice.
he's gone overboard.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he's gone to Dragon Lee, I think it was
Yeah,
first.
Dragon
And,
Lee.
so
And
it
then-
was
Ray Finn.
Yeah,
so he's gone to Penta.
Penta, that's right.
And then throughout the
Penta.
show, he's gone to all these
Mexican wrestlers like Ray Phoenix
the
and then-
Lucha Libres. He's gone around and said sorry, which okay, you respect storyline wise, but
Yeah,
I feel
guys, too
I don't know,
nice.
man. You're doing too much.
So
in my opinion, it's like, is he going to turn on him? Is there a reason that he still doesn't respect them because he lost the match? It's just maybe there's a deeper meaning there, especially with what Rey Mysterio said about you got to think before you became El Grande Americano of what you said, and you got to make amends with what you did back then. It's just like, I don't know. There's something. I think maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but there might be something there.
I feel like this moment of him respecting him unlocks a new Chad Gable. I feel like he's found something else in himself that he never knew he had, and that's going to push him to that next level he wants to get to.
Yeah,
so
no
I think
need-
this moment he's just had within himself and respecting Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee and all these luchadors is just, I feel, again, he's had to be someone else to know who he has to be. And I think it's the way they told the story eventually. I know, as he said, it dragged out a bit and it was a bit boring, but they finished it well. He unmasked himself. So the way they've done it and the way they've ended it is perfect. I just hope it is real and there's no lies between it.
Now, how about The Miz? The Miz is apparently unhappy with his role in WWE. I don't know if this is 100% true. I mean, as you know, dirt sheets, sometimes they lie, sometimes they're true.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Does The Miz have a right to be unhappy with his role in WWE?
I think, in a way, yeah, because I think he's a 2-time Grand Slam champion. I think there's a way of treating wrestlers that have done so much for the company. Yes, when you're coming towards the end, you're not going to be the best, you're not going to be the biggest and have the best roles in the company. You're not going to be in the world title pictures for sure, that's for sure. But I feel the way he's been, treated, I think it's very degrading for him. I think because what he's done for the company, for him to be put into the situation with, a Danhausen, with Kit Wilson, no disrespect to them, but with the caliber of Miz, he should at least be in the United States pictures or Intercontinental still, because he's still an elite, wrestler. He's put his heart and soul for this company. He could have left ages ago and potentially went somewhere else, but his heart still is within the company. And I feel, he could have another, Miz still has it. I feel Miz can still be that character we saw in his prime. I think he's still that character. And if they use him the right way, I think we can see a prime Miz back in his days. But I feel, if the rumors are true and he wants to leave, he is in the right position to wanting to leave, because I feel the comedian acts that they're putting on him and the jokes, it's just, as a wrestler, if I was one of the best of the company, and for me to be in this situation, I'd feel it's like a spit in the face, to be honest.
What are your thoughts?
Look, eventually it gets to a point where you've got to put people over and just go to the side a bit. You look at all the great wrestlers, your Randy Orton, your John Cena's. I'm not saying Miz is up to that standard. Those wrestlers never got disrespected in that way. I feel there is a bit of a WWE are being a bit disrespectful to him. Now, again, he could have had a period where he's going through this comedic act and losing constantly. That's fine. You know, you go through those moments, but I feel like it's been going for a while. You look at the moment when he tag teamed with Logan Paul, I think WrestleMania 38, tagged up with Logan Paul, and I feel that's when it started. I feel that's when this different side of Miz started. You know, working with Logan Paul, he just came into the industry, so they're just giving him this new kid, and just slowly, they've been just doing everything just wrong with him. Jelly Roll, Kit Wilson, Danhausen now, he's become, you know, Danhausen just messing with him. So I don't mind the comedy act, but I feel now, as I said, it's been too long to not realize that, okay, they're doing too much with him. They're making him look weak. They're making him look, you know, just, you know, like a comedy act, but like a toy.
He's not even winning matches. Too,
yeah, but like the Miz has always been like that. The Miz has always been like that. Even in his prime, this guy has always been, respectfully, has always been a comedy act. I mean, he was never to be taken seriously. I mean, mind you, he did become WWE champion at one stage, and he did main event WrestleMania. But other than that, I mean, he hasn't been your Roman Reigns, your CM Punk.
He's
not that type of character. His career hasn't been built to be that type of character.
Yeah.
So I feel like he works best with a Danhausen, with a Kit Wilson, with the comedy side, with an R-Truth, even at the time back then. He works best with these sort of superstars and with these sort of storylines. And I feel like, man, that's his sweet spot.
But I think Miz can work with the big wrestlers.
He can. Yeah. On the mic, he's so good.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's better with these sort of storylines because he always excels with these sort of storylines in comparison to like a serious storyline that, I mean...
Yeah.
That's not going to really lead him anywhere because bro, this guy flourishes when he's like, when you give him a nice comedic storyline like a Danhausen with he's had many instances where he's taken that storyline and ran with it.
But I think now it's come to a point like, try something else, you know, and I feel that's what he needs right now. And again, that's if the rumors are true. But yeah, what you said was a good point to say, but I think Miz needs this, you know, not saying to be the biggest and back to where he was, but to have at least a bit of, you know, respect and at least win a few more matches in his career, because I don't know, when was the last time he won a match? It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
That's what I'm saying. So
since he won a match.
So that's why I think that's where they've got to fix with the Miz.
Yeah, and look, and I agree with all your points too. And he's been in the game for 21 years. He debuted in 05. Okay, like he's done it all. Yeah. But there's one thing he hasn't even held yet: the world heavyweight champion. Like if he does stay, and you know, obviously, if they fit him into the higher picture, like say with Reigns, what you said, Bill, maybe give him that one opportunity to win that world champion, and he's like what, a 3-time Grand Slam champion. If that happens. Yeah, but obviously what you said about like with the storylines with R-Truth, Danhausen, Kit Wilson, Jelly Roll, obviously it fits perfectly for him, but to waste him like that, and he hasn't won a match, I think for about close to a year, I would say.
It's been a while.
I think it's been a while.
I remember longer.
A bit longer, I would say. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully it's not true. But if it is true, where would he go if he left, like WWE? Where would you put him?
AEW is probably the best.
I mean, I would rather put.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if that happened.
Last time he won it was August 2022, 2025.
Ooh, so about 2-3 years.
Sorry, 22nd of August 2025.
Wow. So about a year. Sorry. Like I said.
Yeah.
But if that was true that he was going to leave, I wouldn't put him at AEW. I'd rather take him to TNA.
TNA.
Yeah,
TNA, they got partnership with WWE.
Endless opportunities, man, especially now in the wrestling scene. Yeah. But anyways, that's a wrap up for another episode of The Full Count. If you're new here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, comment down below. Stay tuned. More videos are coming your way, more different videos, more than podcasts. They're coming right down your alley. So yeah, guys, you're new here. Again, like, comment, subscribe. I said this twice, but make sure you do it because you don't want to miss another video on The Full Count channel. Catch you guys in the next episode.